St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and I thought, first of all, I would wear green for this video, but secondly, I thought we would make 3 recipes that would be great for St. Patrick's Day. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Tell me in the comments below, do you wear green on St. Patrick's Day? You remember when you were in school, if you didn't have on green, you were gonna get pinched all day long. Also, if you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, are there certain recipes that you make each year? Or certain traditions that you have? I wanna know. Tell me in the comments below. For dinner, we are making a Guinness beef stew, which, from what I hear, is a traditional Irish stew. First things first, we're gonna prep all of our veggies. I took the help of Ingles and got pre-sliced mushrooms. I have these potatoes here. It just calls for baby potatoes, so I picked these up. I do need to cut these in half, so I'm gonna wash these really quickly and do that. You know what, I changed my mind. I did wash them, and I'm gonna let them drain. I'm gonna chop those probably closer to last, just so nothing browns while I am chopping the rest of it. We need about a cup of carrots chopped, so I'm just going to peel these and chop these really quickly. I also need a cup of celery, so I just grabbed 2 stalks. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna rinse these and chop these too. And for the carrots, it says to cut it into chunks. That's not quite a cup. Those little carrots, bless their little hearts. Okay, let me go get another. I got a new bag of carrots, so let me get those out of the fridge. Okay, I cut up 1 more carrot. I feel like that's a little bit better. Okay, so we've got our carrots and celery. I do need to chop up an onion. This is a very large onion. I'm only gonna do about half of it. It does say to just rough chop that as well. Now you need 6 ounces of bacon, and it says just to cut it into small strips. Okay, that should be good. We're gonna get started over here. You need a large soup pot or Dutch oven. I'm going to heat it to about medium high. We're gonna start by browning our beef. So in here, we're gonna add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil and let that heat through. I've got about 2.5 pounds of stew meat here. The directions say to pat it dry. I didn't feel like it was that wet, but apparently it was. If you hear that loud noise, Cole is outside mowing the grass. It is March, what is today, 4th or 5th? And our grass already needs to be mowed. So there's that. Okay, I'm just salt and peppering these. And I'll probably throw a little more salt and pepper on them once they go into the pot. Our pot is nice and hot. I threw on an apron. So let's throw our stew meat in here. I'm probably gonna have to work in batches, but we're just gonna brown it on all sides. Woo, we're popping. It was a little scary there for a second. I didn't wanna film while I was trying to do this, but these are about ready to come out and we'll do another batch. Whew, I would classify that as intense, my friends, but we got it done. It was just quick moving, and I don't have a cameraman in here, so I had to do what I had to do. I did add a little more oil with each batch. I did 3 batches. But I have turned this down to medium now. Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to move out of the way. We're gonna add just a little bit more oil. First thing we're gonna add is our mushrooms. They're just hanging on. No. No. We're gonna add in our onion and drop some on the floor because that's how we do it. And it calls for 3 cloves of garlic, so I'm just gonna add in like a tablespoon. And we're gonna let this cook for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm gonna kind of scrape the bottom as I go, but once I add liquids in, I can definitely deglaze the pan. While our onions and mushrooms and garlic are going, I'm gonna cut these in half. This one is, woohoo! Look at the color of that one. I'm excited. That one was rather large, so these are gonna be cut in half and they'll be added here in just a few minutes. I just didn't want them to brown while we were waiting. You need 2 cups of potatoes. I probably don't need this entire thing. Another one of the pretty ones. Okay, let's go back over to the stove. This has been cooking for a couple of minutes. We'll let it go 1 more minute. Next, we're gonna add in our bacon and we're gonna cook it until it's browned. So it's gonna take about 5 minutes. Please. Just hang on. And we're gonna let that cook on medium for about 5 minutes. This has been cooking for about 5 minutes. And there's a knock on the door.
Sláinte, friends!
And now we're gonna add in our celery and our carrots. I'm multitasking too. talking on Marco Polo to my friend Shelly. I've got her paused. Hey, Shelly. Okay, this is gonna cook for another 3 to 5 minutes. And while that does it, I'm gonna talk to Shelly. I'll be back. Time for our next step. And that is about 3 tablespoons of flour. We're just gonna sprinkle this in and mix it through and let it cook for a couple of minutes. At this point, it says to add in your Guinness to deglaze the pan, but let me just show you. There's not much to deglaze in here. It kind of already did that on its own, but it says to use a 14.9 ounce Guinness. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's 11 ounces. We're gonna go with it. So let's pour this in. And again, it says to deglaze the pan, so just kind of scrape along the bottom. And then, ooh, that beer smell. I am not a beer fan, so I don't love the smell, but I do love the taste of anything cooked in beer, so there's that. Next, we're gonna add in 3 cups of beef broth. And then we need about 4 tablespoons of tomato paste. I need to get another one of these. Now it says to mix it well. I did turn it back up to about medium high because we want this to come up to a bubble. This is gonna be delicious, I just know it. While this is coming up to temperature, we need to add our beef back in. I can't do that one-handed, so I'll be right back. Okay, that's been added in. We're gonna add in our potatoes. And then the recipe calls for 3 sprigs of thyme, which I went and pulled off of my indoor garden. I'm gonna throw that in too. Okay, it is barely starting to bubble, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on. Now that I've got it covered, I've turned it down to medium-low. We're gonna let it simmer here, just very gently bubbling for 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'm gonna remove the lid, and for the final hour, I'm gonna cook it here with the lid off. We have our Irish stew going on the stove, and I need to go ahead and make our dessert for tonight. Now, this is not an Irish dessert, but it is a green dessert, so it counts for St. Patrick's Day. We are making a no-bake mint Oreo pie. We're gonna add some green food coloring to this to really kind of amp up that St. Patty's Day theme. Let's go. I have softened a block of cream cheese, so that's gonna go in. I'm using my KitchenAid mixer, but you can just use a hand mixer, that's totally fine. I'm also gonna add in a cup of powdered sugar. We just need a 1/4 teaspoon of mint extract. And lastly, we're gonna add in 3 or 4 drops of green food coloring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that, and we're gonna start it out slow. Okay, that is smooth and creamy and green. I love it. I'm so excited. Now you wanna add in 8-ounce thing of Cool Whip or whipped topping. Mine has thawed in the fridge since I got home from the grocery store earlier, so it should be good. Oh yeah. Okay, and we're just going to mix this until it's combined. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna scrape the sides. Let's try that again. Beautiful. Okay, I'm grabbing my Oreos, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? 10, 12. We need to chop these, and we're gonna add them into this mixture. Now these are gonna be in large chunks. I have the mint Oreos because I was able to find them. If you can't find mint Oreos, just use regular, it'll be fine. I said large chunks. I'm gonna roughly go in there and just chop it up just a little bit more. Ooh, one got away. Quality control. And we're just gonna fold these in. Now, let me grab my crust. I just have the off-brand, but you want an Oreo pie crust. And we're just going to spread this mixture. It's not quite as green as I was hoping it would be. It doesn't even look really that green on camera. I think I should have added a little more green food coloring because it's not super green. It's a very light green, pastel, if you will. And now we're gonna take 4 more mint Oreos. And it says to dice these, so you want these cut a little bit smaller. I wish I was a little bit smaller. Everything is a song. Let's take this and top our pie. That makes it look more St. Patty's Day for sure. I mean, yes. And the reason I made this now is I need to pop the lid on it, and it needs to sit in the, I almost said shower. No. It needs to sit in the fridge for at least 2 hours. If my teeth are black right now, I have no idea why. It has been a couple of hours, so let's remove the lid, and we're gonna let it continue to cook for another hour with the lid off. We have come to the portion of the video that scares me. If you're new here, I don't bake. I make on the stovetop, but the whole baking thing from scratch, not my jam. Biscuits and jam. But it always makes for a good time. So I am going to attempt to make Irish soda bread. I know there's lots of different versions of this. I found the easiest version. First things first, 375. Let's preheat that. Okay, I have a whole stick of unsalted butter. I need to soften this, so I'm gonna throw it in the microwave. I have a setting on the microwave that'll do that for me. We need 4 cups of flour. 1, 2, 4 cups of flour. Can we be done now? I feel like I really succeeded at that. Now we need 4 tablespoons of sugar. Now we have baking soda. We need 1 teaspoon of that and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. If you could have seen me just now reading the recipe like 4 times to make sure that I got that right. Now we need half a teaspoon of salt. We're just gonna mix this together. Okay, I need to go over to the microwave and grab my butter. So we are putting in the softened butter. Some of it's a little extra soft, so I hope that doesn't mess me up. This is why. Now we're also gonna add in 1 cup of buttermilk and 1 egg. Our egg. It just says mix until combined. Am I supposed to use my fingers? I feel like I need to break up the egg and get that going, and then I'm gonna go in with my fingers. So let me take off my rings, because when I used to make biscuits with my Nana, you did it with your hands, you know? So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I can kind of squish up that butter too. Okay. This is not pleasant. Another reason why I don't bake. Good gravy. I mean, am I doing something wrong? Probably. We're gonna move that to the side. I need to flour this surface. It says to knead it briefly. That's brief, you know? I mean, what is brief? I'm assuming that's brief. Breathe, Mandy, it's okay. Okay, it says shape it into a round shape and place it on a greased baking sheet. I'm using my Caraway baking pan, so I don't have to worry about greasing it. I know you can't see it, but you will in a second. I gotta clean up, so I'll be right back. There she is in all her glory. Now, I need to melt 1/4 cup of butter. So now I need 1/4 cup of buttermilk. So let me pour that. And to that buttermilk, we're gonna add that 1/4 cup of melted butter. And we're gonna mix that around. I'm gonna mix it with this little basting brush. We need to cut an X in the top of the bread. I don't know why. What does that do? Like, how deep do I need to cut it? How big? These are the questions I have. We're gonna go with that right there. And I believe we have to baste or kind of brush it every 15 minutes while it's in the oven as well, which is exciting because, you know, it just stresses me out a whole nother level. It's all right. There we go. This is going in the oven, I think on the middle rack. It doesn't say. Okay. This is going in the oven at 375 for 45 minutes. Every 15 minutes, I'm gonna brush it with this. Okay? Okay. I just put it in and set the timer for 15 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. We are gonna go ahead and brush this with some more of this buttermilk and melted butter mixture. And it's gonna go in for another 15. And then I'll do it one last time. So it's gonna go in for a total of 45 minutes. I'm gonna brush it twice like I just did. Okay, back in it goes. It just came out of the oven. I did the knife test and it came out clean. So we're gonna let it cool for a minute. I'm actually gonna transfer it over to a wire rack. So in this area of our kitchen, right inside of our garage door, there was a built-in desk, and it was a very small desk, and it was my desk in the kitchen for the 7 years that we've lived here. Now I have my own office, and we have built this. Well, we didn't build it. We had someone else build it. But this is like our hall tree as soon as you come in the garage door. So now we each have our own basket here and up here. Well, I say each. Gracie Lou is over here making herself known that she does not have a basket. But we have this bench. The bench is my former desktop. It was 24 inches deep. He cut it down to 18 inches deep. It is the perfect sitting space for us to put on our shoes, to hang our jackets or whatever it is that we're gonna hang. It just worked out so perfectly. We absolutely love it. And I feel like it came straight out of Pinterest.
Y'all, that's the biggest biscuit I've ever seen in my whole life.
Okay, we did remove the 3 little sprigs of thyme. It was just the stems, obviously, the thyme cooked off of it. I've already taste tested this just to check the salt content. I added just the tiniest bit of salt, but y'all.
So time has run out on that. It's time to eat.
It's time to eat, and it is so good. Oh my word. I am so impressed with myself right now. Pat self on back. All right, let's eat. Y'all, I wish you could smell this. It has been torture these past 3 hours. Torture.
She's trying to kill me.
Tink.
Man, the flavor in that stew is amazing.
The beef falls apart.
Yeah, real beefy flavors, but like it's smooth. It's not like, there's not like one thing that's overpowering in there.
There's nothing that's like really pungent or, yeah.
Mmm. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like a big biscuit.
It is. It does have a little bit of sugar to it.
Interesting. It goes really good with the stew.
There's a fly in here. It just flew by my ear.
Well,
oh, there he is.
He's probably trying to get him a bite, too. He's been smelling it all day. So this will be good for leftovers, too.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be eating this for probably a couple of days, just depending on how much you and Cole eat tonight. When you live with 2 guys, there's not many leftovers.
Yeah.
Let me know in a comment below how many guys you live with and if you ever have leftovers. You're already done. I've taken 3 bites. Okay, we'll be back with a taste test of the dessert in a little bit.
Wow. Chocolate chip key lime pie. That's what this tastes like. Chocolate. I mean, Oreo. Not chocolate chip. Oreo key lime pie.
It's not, there's no lime.
There's no lime in here?
It's mint. Are you okay?
I'm getting some lime action.
I can't continue. I'm done. Chocolate chip key lime.
It's got a little.
No.
It's got some kind. It's got some kind of citrus in there, doesn't it?
It does not.
No lemon or nothing.
It has mint.
That's all. Oh man, that's good.
All 3 of these recipes were amazing. Even the dessert that no one knows what it is. It's delicious.
Mint chocolate chip meringue pie. What is meringue?
I don't know. Just have egg in it, and it's like whipped.
Meringue equals egg. How does that happen?
I don't know. We're gonna end the video right here because it's getting worse as we go on. We'll see y'all next time. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Bye.